Hey everyone, it's Braden here. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this demo essay, right? It's what we're working on for this particular section, right? So yesterday we talked about how to build the essay, the main parts of the essay and things like that. And the video I just did for you guys that you just watched was all about the introduction, and that the introduction has three main parts, right? And those parts are hook, narrow, and then the thesis at the bottom, right? Hook, narrow, thesis, hook, narrow, thesis, hook, narrow, thesis. Okay, this is important, these three pieces. However, how do we build it? And that's the main question. So I got to tell you guys a story here. So a while ago, let's see, it's almost 3 years ago now, I had a student who was very smart and very capable and could speak really well and could hear really well, listen really well. She ran a business, she was successful, but she couldn't pass her writing classes, and it frustrated her. She's like, I don't get it. This is so frustrating. I know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on. Help me understand this. So she sat down at one point. I remember her coming into my office, and she's like, Mr. Jace, can you help me with this? And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And within about a minute, she was in tears and she's crying. She's like, I don't understand. If I can't figure this out, they're going to kick me out of the school. And I need to get the English and I need to perform, because if I don't, I can't be a part of the job. I can't stay here anymore. I have to go back to my country, but I want to stay here and I want to do this. I want to go to college. And if I don't, they're going to kick me out. And she's crying and it's so sad with all of these things. And I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. So after talking with her for a few minutes, I finally realized, I'm like, wait a second. You think that me as a native speaker, when I write an essay, I just sit down and type and everything's perfect the first time. I just start at the beginning and type, get to the end, and then I'm done. And she's like, well, yeah. And I said, no. That is not how writing works at all. That's how speaking works, right? When I'm talking to you, right? I have the beginning of the video, I have the middle of the video, and I have the end of the video, right? And I'm just talking to you. But with writing, we never work that way. It can't work that way. Remember, we talked about this before in a previous video. When we speak, it's one thing. When we write, it's different. It's a different thing. We have to think differently. We have to behave and perform differently. So one of the things that we do differently here, and I'm going to show you this, is when we read the essay, when we read an introductory paragraph, we start from the beginning and we go to the bottom, right? That's how reading works. So we start reading at the hook, and then we read the narrow, and then we read the thesis at the end. But when we write it, we do it the other way. Right, first we build the thesis. That's the most important part. Then we build our narrow section. We polish it, make it look nice. And then last of all, we build a hook. After everything else is done, then we'll put in a hook. Okay? So here we are in this essay that I've been working on, that we worked on yesterday. And you can see this here. We have our intro. This is our introductory paragraph. And I kind of started building some things, right? Politics is a difficult topic. Many people dislike it. But the question is, why do many people dislike politics? Well, some people might say that politics is just too complicated for most people, and that's why they avoid it. However, the reality is that politics isn't complicated. It's disorganized, wasteful, and anger-causing. I'm so mean. Okay, anyway, this is my thesis right here. That spot, that's my thesis. So where do I need to start working first? On that thesis, okay? So do I want to say complicated, disorganized, wasteful, anger-causing? I can do some better vocabulary here. I can maybe explain this a little better. The thing, what is politics? Okay, so before we talked about my feelings, so I need to kind of think about that. What do I care? What's my thing here? People dislike anger, anger-causing, right? So it's anger-causing, wasteful, disorganized. It's politics. See, this isn't working. Like I can look at this and like this doesn't work very well. So I'm going to split this up. These are my three topics, right? So I need to keep those. Still need to polish it, but I got to change it a little bit. Let's say that what I really want to say, I like this word disorganized, but actually maybe we could say over-organized, right? There's too much organization inside of government. So much organization that it causes conflict. Okay, wasteful. That's actually a really good word. I'm going to leave that one in. And then anger causing, that doesn't work. So I got to think of something better than anger causing. Frustrating, that could work. Frustrating is not strong enough. So let's see what is frustrating, anger causing, irritating, better. Infuriating, better. It is stressful. Put in infuriating. Infuriating, okay? Infuriating means anger causing. So we can use infuriating. That's a higher level word. So we got over-organized, wasteful, and infuriating. You know, a better word for over-organized, that's the right idea, but I've got a better word, which is bureaucratic. Bureaucratic. That is a hard word. That is a hard word. Whew, got it. Thank you, spell check. So bureaucratic, this is a difficult word. So bureaucratic means too much organization. Everything's divided and there's levels and pieces. That's very frustrating. And inefficient, so I like that word. Wasteful, that fits pretty well. I still like that one. Infuriating, that's true, but it still doesn't feel specific enough, right? And how do I know that? I know that because I have a feeling and I have an emotion, and infuriating works, but it's not very specific. So let me give you a story about specific. So I was at home, this is probably 5 years ago now, and my oldest son, he was 7 years old. And I asked him, or my wife asked him, I said, Christian, what do you want for dinner? And his response was, food. Now, is that wrong? No. Is there any grammar problems with that? Nope, it's perfect. Pronunciation? Perfect. Vocabulary? Perfect. What's wrong with it? Okay? What's wrong with it is that it's not helpful. And the reason it's not helpful is because it's not specific enough. It needs to be specific. Someone asks, what food do you want? Or what do you want for dinner? Obviously, it's food. So responding with something like food isn't helpful. And if we're going to communicate, the communication should be helpful. And the way that we can be the most helpful is through being specific. So this infuriating is right, but it's not specific enough, right? Same thing I did here with bureaucratic, right? I went from disorganized, over-organized, okay, bureaucratic. Now I got to do the same thing here with infuriating. So I went from anger causing, which is true, to infuriating, which is better, to, let's see, something else. What would fit with that word? Infuriating. This is a good time when you would open up a thesaurus. So I'm going to show you something here with a thesaurus. Google Chrome, and, bring that down here. So here's Google Chrome. I'm going to show you guys thesaurus. Thesaurus is how you say this word, thesaurus. Then we have thesaurus.com. It's wonderful. And I can put in infuriating, if I can spell it right, infuriating. Okay, so infuriating, aggravating, angering, enraging, exasperating, irritating, provoking, maddening, okay, riling, umbrage, that one doesn't work, blood boil, that's an expression we have to make somebody very angry. Okay, and I'm just looking at these things. Where can I see some words that fit with this? Aggravating, annoying, exasperating. Ooh, that could be it. Vexatious. That's a really good word. Okay, vexatious. And frustrating, infuriating, riling, troubling. Troubling. Ooh, hey, see? And I'm thinking of this right now. Like this, I'm actually dynamically doing this right now. So it's infuriating, but then why is it infuriating? That's what we really want to know. Why is politics something that's infuriating? I don't know. Well, it's infuriating because of the way that people are selfish inside of those organizations and how they try to benefit themselves instead of benefiting the group. Like, I want this out of politics, so I'm going to take it, instead of saying, okay, what can I give to the political situation? That's why it's infuriating, because everyone believes that politics and that government is supposed to help the people, but then the people in the government don't behave that way. That's infuriating. Okay, so now I've hit something. This is my emotion that I'm going for. Okay, so I need to be more specific so that I can match this properly. Infuriating. So politics, government is bureaucratic, wasteful, and what was my word that ticked me off here? Vexatious, troubling, riling, provoking, right? Selfish. I'm going to put troublingly selfish. Troublingly selfish. Selfish. Okay. Now, how much time have we spent here? We've been in here for a couple of minutes already. Let me check. Been in here for 11 minutes, and I have written a grand total of 6 words. That's how important the thesis is. Because a good thesis makes everything else easy. A bad thesis makes everything else hard. Okay, so I'm here and I've done that. Okay? Politics is bureaucratic, wasteful, and troublingly selfish. Haha! Now I can do this. That's my disorganized one. Say bureaucratic. That's this one down here. Wasteful. And then this one is troublingly selfish. Okay, there we go. But this one's down here. So I'm going to move it over here. Okay, and then bureaucratic goes at the top. Move it up there. Okay. Now, notice how this is similar, right? In my core heart and feeling, this is more close to what I was originally feeling. But this looks a lot different from what I wrote down at the beginning. That is writing. We start one way and we edit and change and change and change and change all the time. Okay, so there we go. This is my basic thesis right there. It is, right? Bureaucratic, wasteful, and troublingly selfish. There we go. Now we've got something. Okay, so there's my thesis so far. It's simple, but it's core and it feels right. So now I need to do my narrow step. Okay, what's my narrow step? So narrow means to make smaller. So I start wide and I focus to a point. Okay, one of the words we have here, if I put in narrow, I'll make that unbold. Inside of here, we have the word arrow, right? And if I look over here at this, just put into Google, arrow, I get probably a TV show, but arrow, these are arrows, arrow. There you go, bow and arrow. This thing right here, these are arrows, okay? Arrows for shooting, okay? That's what we're talking about. We start, let's see if I can find an arrowhead. There we go, let's use that one. So this is what we're talking about. We start wide and we go to a point, right? That's what we're going for. So with our essay, we need to do the same thing, but we need to do it in reverse. So we start wide up here and then we get narrow at the bottom. So many people dislike politics. Okay, that's pretty wide. But the question is, oh no, politics is a difficult topic. That's wide. Okay, so I'll put that here. Many people dislike it. But the question is, why do many people dislike politics? Okay, so that's even more narrow. Well, some people might say that politics is just too complicated for most people. So that's why they avoid it. Okay, so that's even a little bit more narrow. There we go, got those 3 pieces. But, you know, this isn't very good, right? Politics is a difficult topic. That's not a very good sentence. We can make this more complex, right? Build a better sentence. So let's do something like politics. We could say, many people, so I can combine these 2 sentences, right? Many people are frustrated with how their government works. There we go. Their government works. Okay, many people dislike it. They're frustrated. Politics, difficult. Okay? So that's kind of open, right? They're frustrated with how their government works. You know what? I think that's already too narrow. Let's make something wider. Politics, government. There we go. Politics and government. What is politics and government? Okay. What? No, not a question. We can do government. An essential part of modern life. Okay, there we go. Big open. Government is an essential part of modern life. Huge open thing. One part of government that is often debated is politics. Politics means how different members of the government interact and work together. Okay, so now I have three things. Look how big and open that is. Government is an essential part of modern life. Whew, narrow. One part of government that is often debated is politics. Ooh, what's politics? Whew, more narrow. Politics means how different members of the government interact and work together. Okay, whew, more narrow. See how this is going? This is going well. Okay, now I need some kind of contrast or whatever, right? Members, okay. Many people believe that government is too complicated. I wrote that down here, right? Complicated for normal people and should be left to the experts. Okay, so there you go. There's one people. There's one kind of thing. I can get rid of that. More specific. However, oh, see, now I've changed topics. That doesn't work. So let's come back up. I got to take that whole sentence out because it doesn't match. Now I need to narrow into this. Okay. Debated. That's what politics means. Why is politics debated? That's the thing. So many people debate there we go. There are three reasons why many people believe that, many people debate politics. And those are that they believe that government is bureaucratic, wasteful, and troublingly selfish. Okay? That is a significantly better introductory paragraph. Is it perfect? No. But that would probably get you a 16 to an 18, right? You would see a paragraph like this on a TOEFL. That'd be a 16 to an 18 right there. Okay? You got to write the rest of the essay, of course, and we'll talk about that. But just that right there is really, really powerful. Government is an essential part of modern life. One part of government that is often debated is politics. Politics means how different members of the government interact and work together. I can feel there's something a little wrong there that I need to fix. There are three reasons why many people debate politics, and those are that... and there's not something else wrong here too. There are three reasons why many people debate politics, and those are that many people debate politics because there we go, see? I had to fix this one because that actually didn't make sense as a proper thesis. Many people debate politics because they believe that government is bureaucratic, wasteful, and troublingly selfish. There we go. Is that perfect? No. But is it really good? Yes. Yes, it is. And did that take me a while? Yes. But this paragraph is so powerful and so important in your essay because right here, this one sentence is the core for everything else that I do in the rest of the essay. Okay? So now I have bureaucratic, bureaucratic, wasteful, wasteful, troublingly selfish, troublingly selfish. Okay, now I need to change this. So bureaucratic, change that, wasteful, copy, paste, oops, lowercase, and then troublingly selfish, bam. And you guys can see how quickly I'm moving around the keyboard and the screen and the document, okay? Why can I do that? Because I've been doing this a lot. It's just practice. I learned how to use the keyboard. I learned what all the buttons do. I learned how to make them do things for me. Okay, that's why I move so fast, because I practiced. It's not some magic. I wasn't born knowing these things. I practiced and I worked hard. If you want to be able to move around the keyboard and move around the screen the same way that I do, you gotta do the work. You gotta practice and learn how to do it, okay? So anyway, that's it for today. This is a little bit longer than I planned, I'm sorry. But I wanted to show this to you, right? This is real. I just did this, right? I'm not making this up. This was not planned. Out of my own head, building this formula. So look, here's my open. This is the start of the narrow part. Oh wait, no, I need to do a hook still. So hooks. Questions are great hooks. So I could say, have you ever wondered, questions are good, right? So have you ever wondered why people debate about politics? Well, yes, I have. There's my hook. Okay, I've got a very simple question about it. So now I've used you, I've used people, I've used debate, and I've used politics. Now look, now I talk about debate, and I talk about people, and I talk about politics, and I talk about these things, okay? My hook makes sense. That was really easy for me to build a hook. Why? Because I've already written all of this that's here. It's just a question that makes people go, oh, well, why do people debate about it? Well, I'll tell you. It's because they believe that government is bureaucratic, wasteful, and troublingly selfish. That's why people debate about politics. Okay, see how those connect, right? There's the answer to it. But if I were to start here with, oh, what's a great hook? I don't know. What's a great hook? I don't know. Is this a great hook? Maybe. What about that one? I don't know. You don't know. You have to start with your thesis right there. Thesis wins every time. Okay, guys, that was longer than I thought it would be, but I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, post in the comments. If you like this, post in the comments too. I love it. And I will talk to you guys another day. Bye.